Hey, how you doing?
We'll wait till a couple of people come on.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I didn't know I had to download the app and then sign up through Facebook. It's like everything nowadays has an app. Everything you want to do has its own separate app. I'm like, how many apps do we need?
I don't know why it didn't let you just log straight through. That was kind of
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. I don't know why I didn't do that either. Very, very strange.
Very strange. So, you like the program? It's kind of fly,
Yeah, this is actually really dope.
huh?
You put me onto something new.
Try to be a little professional.
Right. Yeah. So
So,
so you do this every Friday.
every Friday. Yep, we do this every Friday.
Yeah,
We
that's
have
pretty
a couple of people live. So, for those who don't know, this is Gail Gotti. She is the head of the Kurrupt MoonRock team. If you aren't familiar with what Kurrupt MoonRocks are, is the Wikipedia describes them as the strongest cannabis on earth. So just in case you didn't know that, that is like one of the largest things, especially since it's African American owned. Yay!
right.
And then also she's a cannabis leader. So it's very important that I highlight women in the industry because it's not just about um, being African American, but it's also about being a minority as a woman in the industry. So she's also a leader in our industry, and that matters. So what were you doing before we checked in today? How was your day?
Fridays are very exciting for me. Fridays is like my payroll day, go to the office, see what's going on. I go to the gym, I do my health stuff. Like Friday is kind of like my day to kind of like knock everything out and then I shut it down, phone off for the weekend, and I don't reboot until Monday.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you do so your thing says Milan Taylor. Do you want that to show?
You know what? I couldn't remember my Facebook password. So I had to log on to my son's Facebook in order to.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm like, I got so many different passcodes for so many different things. I be trying to keep hackers out of my mix. I end up locking myself out of shit.
So Gerald Mays is a friend of mine, and he's watching, and he says we on, which means he can see us. So the people are watching; they can see us. Gerald, be sure to share this. We appreciate it. If you are watching this show, you can type your questions at the bottom, and I'll be able to post them up, and so we can answer your questions as we flow.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of my first shows that I've actually done on my Yo That's Dope page. I usually do them on my personal page, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm branding correctly. So I don't really know like what that's going to do to my numbers. I'm going to go and share it in a few seconds again and see if that doesn't help. But needless to say, it's the price that we pay to keep everything fluid. I know you understand that.
Keep it fluid, keep it flowing, and keep building.
um, Thanks, Gerald. He says he likes the lip gloss. Really, Gerald. So we're coming to Vegas. The MoonRocks are coming to Vegas. How do you feel about that? First, tell the people how long have you been in business and how this came about.
Yeah, well, MoonRocks as a company, we've been in business for about 3 to 4 years now. We took some time off and we restructured the company and relaunched in, I believe it was February. And us coming to Vegas is really exciting, especially for me. I've always loved Vegas. It's always been like a second home to me. I've been looking for a reason to move down there for the last 2 years. So us launching a brand there and it becoming as successful as I know it's going to be just gives me that extra push that I need to kind of relocate myself to Vegas. But I just think Vegas is a really good market for us. It's new, it's exciting. there's so many different people that flow through Vegas from so many different states and so many different countries. I think it just opens us up to a new market. It opens us up to people who may not ever come to California to even be able to try our product. It just really expands our brand.
You know what I think is funny is Vegas has this way of being transient, but a catapult at the same time. I always tell people, if you can do business in Vegas, you can do business everywhere, because we are hard.
No, I believe you. I'm excited. I'm ready for the challenge. I'm up for it. It's going to be, it's going to be exciting and a little challenging to see, the side of Vegas where people actually live there. Because I know there's a side of Vegas where, people who live there, they don't go to the Strip. They don't indulge in all the, Vegas shenanigans. So it's going to be, really interesting for us to capture that crowd and to capture the crowd of the people who come there to party and have a good time,
Right. So. Someone's asking, Gerald is asking, is Kurrupt going to be a part of this?
Yeah, Kurrupt is definitely going to be a part of it. He's involved in all the aspects of the business, as of so far. He's going to be making appearances at dispensaries, and, we're going to do in-stores and launch parties, and, we're going to have a lot of events going on down there, and Kurrupt is definitely going to be a part. We're going to be doing shows in Vegas and, whatever we can do out there to just keep building the brand and keep, bringing attention.
I think, one of the things that I love about you and your team is you guys are so engaged in the community and the process of what's going on. And I think Las Vegas will be surprised to see that movement in a cannabis leader. Because although we have some things flowing with some of our dispensaries and some of our cultivations here, you guys this isn't new territory for you. This city might be new, but doing this business isn't new. And I think you guys will be the leaders in kind of showing the way.
Yeah.
In an aspect of that,
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we have a really strong team. I got really lucky with a group of really good guys, T, Tony, and Hump, and we really all respect each other. We all bring things to the table, strengths that the other person doesn't have. And, LA is a really hard market. Everybody is Hollywood. Everybody thinks their shit is popping. Everybody thinks they have the next biggest thing. And I kind of feel like, we kind of like took over the game here. And that's really hard to do in LA, and I feel like if we can do that here, we can do that anywhere.
Well, I know that bringing you guys to Vegas was such a, first of all, thank you for doing business with me and trusting me with your business. That just was really huge. And I kept it so tight. Like, I didn't tell hardly anyone. I was like, I'm working this deal. It's the most stressful deal. But I just appreciate you trusting me with that. But I just kind of, so I have a question. This is a really good question. It says, can you see these two?
Yeah, I can see what Gerald is typing. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is this a wellness product or a get high product? Gerald, that's a really great question. And it's a timely question because it's something that Gail and I communicate about often about where she wants the brand to go, and I support that. But I want to make sure that everyone knows that anytime you have a cannabis that's strong, that's going to be good pharmaceutically and medicinally anyway, just because there is a group of people who need that kind of cannabis.
Right.
If they're in high pain or high stress, you want to have a high level of cannabis. However, this particular brand that Kurrupts MoonRocks, the producers have done an excellent job of making this particular brand really, it's going to be good for cancer, for cancer patients. And I know that that was really important to Gail. It was really important to me, and it was really important to Gail also. And we kind of drove that home. And so, as the leader, that's important to her. And just talk about that a little bit, Gail.
Yeah, well, for me, actually, being a cancer patient and someone who suffers from pain, it was important for me to have a product that people like myself can benefit off of and still function throughout the day. One of the main things that people were saying back here in LA, where they would get high, they would smoke moon rocks and be stuck and not be able to function because the THC level was so high. So, for me, I wanted to create something that you can still get the same benefits from it, but you can still go out and be productive.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really important to create a wellness product. And I think that's kind of like the direction that we went as far as Las Vegas goes, creating something that can be both. So that was really, really important for me to be able to help people who suffer from pain. There's a lot of times when, I can't get out of bed or I don't feel my best. And having a product like this enables me to be able to continue to function throughout the day and not be stuck.
Right.
Because I'm still a businesswoman and I still have a company to run and I'm a mom and I still have, things that I need to do, and I can't just smoke a joint and be stuck on the couch for 3 or 4 hours.
Right. So, people are always talking about that. Do I have to smoke? Or, you always have that communication with people where I don't want to be high. And I'm like, okay, you're probably high on something. You know what I'm saying? The doctor is probably prescribing you something that's got you high. You just haven't really gotten into that mind space that who I am has been altered based on this drug that the doctor has sent me, right?
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who like me, I don't like a head high.
Mm-hmm.
I like a body high because my pain is a body pain.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to escape from something mentally where I want to get a head high. I just need something that's just going to kind of like ease my pain and let me be able to function throughout the day. And I'm starting to learn that there are people who like a body high and don't like a head high. And different marijuanas give you different type of highs.
And that's one of the things that I'm glad you touched on, because we have that space where people believe that everything is just going to affect you one way. And and even though MoonRocks is I think as you go mainstream, my phone is picking up my voice. I think as you guys go mainstream, more people will try out your product, and then that brand will branch out.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, oh, this is the stuff.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm interested and looking forward to making, MoonRock capsules for people who don't smoking. I personally do not like smoke. I don't like the way it feels in my lungs. I don't like the way it makes my hair smell. And there are a lot of people like that. I don't like for my son, although I'm grown and I have a grown son, I don't like for my son to smell marijuana on me. As a parent, don't like that. So I want to create, MoonRock capsules.
Right.
So there's going to be times where you're not going to be in places where you can smoke, but you can always pop a pill. You can be on a flight and have pain and take a MoonRock pill.
Exactly.
Have the same effect. So, there's so many different levels to this where, I'm trying to go and take the brand, and it's going to be really exciting. And, I'm really happy that I have you to kind of coach me through the way and kind of give me pointers, because all of this is new for me. I come from the music industry, the film industry, the sports world. This whole cannabis game is new to me. I learn something new every day. I'm learning different, what different things mean. And, I'm always asking questions, and I don't sit here and try to act like I know it all, because this world is very new to me. So I'm really excited and happy that you're kind of like walking me through everything and just kind of like coaching me along the way.
But you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to you launching your own stuff. So I know that we've talked about that often. First, I want to show everybody what a MoonRock is. I actually have one. So that's what
we have to re-up. We got to get you a big.
Look. That's what a moon rock looks like. Just so you know, because I know people are like, "What is a moon rock?" So that's what it looks like. Is you see that? That's something right there. So there are so many uses for cannabis, especially in the wellness industry. Um, I often talk about CBD on this show, and I talk about CBD because it's one of the new phenomenons. Although in the industry we're already aware of it and we use it for everything, and it's very common for us. To the world at large, they're just now getting accustomed to it. You know what I mean? The world at large is like, I want the kind of weed that I don't get high off of. That's what they come in and say that. I want the, but I think so. What I want to kind of point out is what's good about the Las Vegas MoonRocks is it has CBN, CBG, which are all cannabinoids from CBD. So the reason why that's important is because CBD is an anti-inflammatory and it helps to build good blood cells. So I can't, by FDA law, I can't say that this will help you with cancer. I can't say that.
Right.
But what I can say is I could suggest this as a use for cancer patients.
Right. Right.
So let me ask you, where is the next place that the MoonRocks will be going? Like, what do you see coming up?
Like I said, for MoonRocks, I see us branching off and doing more. Like I said, I want to do the MoonRock capsules. We're gonna pretty soon get into edibles and dog treats and stuff like that, and just keep expanding the brand and keep creating products.
So I have a question from my cell phone, actually. Ryu says, what are the strains for products used to make these MoonRocks?
Oh, good question.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
So you want me to answer that one?
Yeah, you can go ahead and answer that.
So I would be remiss if we didn't say that AMA is a partner for Las Vegas market. They are the producers of the MoonRocks.
Right.
And so because it's an AMA, we're using AMA production. It will be an AMA strain, and it's an OG strain. I don't know which OG strain it is, but it's an OG strain because traditionally the MoonRocks are made from OGs.
Right.
So because of that, it is an OG strain. That was a really, really good question. That was a stumper too. Don't text me another.
They coming with it tonight.
Yeah, they are. So you just got back from Dubai. Now I'm going into your personal life. How was the trip?
Dubai was amazing. It was one of the most amazing trips that I've been to a lot of places. It was one of the most amazing places that I've ever been in my life. It was so clean. It's just the culture. I love how much pride they take in their land. Everything is clean and new. You can literally walk around on the street with no shoes on. It's the ground is that. And I really like that a lot. So I spent a couple of days in Dubai, and then I spent a day in Abu Dhabi where I went to the mosque and stuff out there, which was, very life-changing for me because I'm just in a place in my life where, I'm just trying to soak up all the spiritual healing and the comfort. I'm just really just soul searching at this point in my life. And that day was really special for me. But Dubai was amazing. And I think that everybody should experience that once. I was kind of mad that I didn't go from Dubai to Egypt because I was right there. It was maybe like a 3 or 4 hour flight. But I'm going to go back to Dubai next year, and I'm going to stop in Egypt on my way back for sure. Did you take a tour guide, or did you guys just kind of wing it? we just winged it. We kind of just like got up every day and was like, what are we going to do today? You know, no time, no alarm clocks. And we just went for it. It was just one of those trips where nothing was planned out and it was so perfect. And I kind of noticed, like, when you kind of start, when you go on vacations and you have tour guides and schedules, it kind of just seems like shit just goes haywire.
Yep.
And we kind of just, you know, nobody was looking at times and alarm clocks, and every day we kind of woke up whenever we felt like it and was like, what are we going to do today? Let's go skydiving. Okay, let's go. You know, let's go do this. Let's go. You know, everybody was just game for having fun and new experiences. And it was an amazing trip.
How were the guys there? Were the men like American men?
So handsome.
I love Middle Eastern men. Like, oh my God. I love beards and dark skin, that olive skin. Like, that is ultimately my favorite.
The olive skin, the dark features with the dark hair. The men there are very handsome, very mysterious and sexy. I was like, I could have stayed. I could have found me a chic husband and not back.
Now we know why Janet did it.
Right.
Gerald says, where can he get the MoonRocks at?
Well, it depends on where Gerald is located. If
he's here in Las Vegas.
Oh, in Las Vegas. Well, we haven't launched yet in Las Vegas. We're going to be launching the week of Thanksgiving, which is 2 weeks away, I believe, Aisha.
2 weeks. Yes, yeah. 2 weeks.
So we'll be launching in 2 weeks, Gerald, and from there we'll have a list up on our Instagram and on our website of all the dispensaries that we will be in Las Vegas. So, and I'm not sure, like, if Vegas, do you guys have like a weed maps type program out there?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
we use Weed Maps.
Oh, okay. So we'll be on Weed Maps, and we'll constantly be posting updates like we do now on our Instagram every time we're in a new dispensary, just kind of keeping people up to date.
And what is your Instagram handle?
My Instagram handle is Gail Gotti, and the MoonRock Instagram handle, I believe, is Real Kurrupts MoonRocks, I believe.
Real MoonRocks?
No, Kurrupts.MoonRocks. I don't know who set that up, but I think it's like a period. Yeah, it's like a period in between like each word. The Real Kurrupts MoonRocks.
Yeah, that's something right there. I'm gonna put up.
Yeah, one of the guys must have did that one.
That's funny. That's okay. So I'm gonna post it on here. I'm just trying to get this thing to work for me right quick. So this program is relatively new for me, and I'm like figuring it out as we go. However, I love it. I think it's cost me money, but you know.
Oh, it's not
free. Supposed to. Hell no. No, look good these days. Anything worth having is worth paying for. Cost. Yep.
I know that's right. I know that is right.
So where can they get you in California?
I mean, in California, we're all over the place from, up until we're in from San Diego all the way up into the Bay. So we're in dispensaries pretty much everywhere. Like I said, we're on Weed Maps. We're in ton of dispensaries in Hollywood, and it just depends on what your location is. But our MoonRocks is all over the place in LA.
So what are MoonRocks? Actually, no one asked what MoonRocks were. That's a new question. So, Gail, what are MoonRocks?
MoonRocks is, like you said before, it's a OG that we took that was infused and rolled in hash. Basically, Kurrupt created. A lot of people don't know this. Kurrupt created MoonRocks, and then from there everybody, try to jump on the wave and steal it. But Kurrupt is the original creator of MoonRocks, and we should have like tried to patent it or trademark it or something, which you can't right now. You can't even trademark anything.
But the intellectual property of it is still belongs to you, and that has value. And I want to tell people this because one of the number one things that I try to teach as a consultant is never underestimate the value of your information. Your information is so valuable to the point where you should have a portion of information that you give for free, and then a portion that you charge for. And in this case, how to make them and how it's rolled and how to present it is all intellectual property, which means if you don't have the formula for it, you can't reproduce it. That's why there's so many mimics of it.
Yeah.
So that still has great value. And I want to tell people that. So if you have like a great idea and you're thinking about like, what should I do? First of all, put it down on paper. That's like, that's number one. Yeah. Put your idea on paper. And then number two, be clear of what you think is value. Give away what you're going to give away for free, and then hold what. I just had this problem with a friend, and they called me asking me some questions, and and I started answering the questions, and in the middle of it, I was like, hey, let's be clear. Mm-hmm. If the answers to these questions were simple, then you could get them from anyone. The reason why you called me is because you knew I knew the answer, and there's a fee to that. Right. So, that stuff is important. Look, this is a really good question. Do you think the cannabis industry will ever replace the opiate industry?
I believe so. I definitely believe so, because cannabis is becoming so more accepted by pretty much everybody. I think cannabis is gonna become that big where it's gonna take over the industry for sure.
I agree with you. I was with I had lunch today. I was invited to lunch today with Whoopi Goldberg.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that she said was, she said that cannabis should be treated like penicillin. Mm. They didn't test penicillin. They had no accuracy of what it could and couldn't cure, but it was the new product that they used to cure illnesses.
Right.
He said that cannabis should be treated the same way. We may not know all the things that cannabis can and cannot cure, but if you have an illness, you should just try it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I don't know if one day cannabis will replace, will take the place of doctors using anesthesia or whatever the case may be, but I do believe that cannabis is going to be, I do believe that there's going to come to a point where doctors, instead of prescribing Xanax for, their patients, they will prescribe, marijuana for them. I do believe that pharmaceutical companies are going to get put out of business.
I agree. I think that we're coming to a date where, and I actually am pushing for that. Like in my store, that's one of the things I push. Like, what drugs are we trying to replace? Like, that's like the first thing I'm saying. I'm like, what drugs are we trying to replace? Let's start there, So I agree with you. I think that we're headed there. What is an OG? How do I want to? OG is just a strain of flower. It's just the name of a strain of flower. That's how I would describe it, actually. It actually stands for ocean grown. So this is like the weird thing. So OG stands for ocean grown. That's like really what it stands for. But it has developed into an idea of a breed of strain. So it's typically crossbred with something else. And it's just a breed of strain, but that's what OG stands for. And I know too much about cannabis. I know more than I should know.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I never, that's what it stood for.
Isn't that crazy? So yeah. I know more than I should know, but nevertheless, that's what that means. But it's just a breed of a strain. Here's a good question from Lamar. And he says, do you have a development team?
Well, our development team is pretty much like our everyday team, which consists of, you know, my partners, me, T, Tony, Hump. There's about 4 of us every day that are always coming up with, you know, new ideas and new products that we're going to do. And that right now, that is our development team. You know, they know pretty much any and everything there is to know about marijuana and the industry. And I have tons of amazing ideas, but I'm more business. So I kind of put my ideas with their knowledge of the cannabis industry. And from there, you know, that's where all of our ideas come from.
And, you know, I probably should have had all the guys, but they would have all been trying to talk at one time.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have got
it would have been more frustrating for you than anything.
I'll have them on another time. Actually, what we'll do is I'll have them live before we launch. That'll be a really good time. I'll have them on before we launch, and I'll let them do their promos. But they are really some great guys. I've fallen in love with every one of them for a different reason.
Yeah.
I think Tony and I butt heads the most, but overall, like, we all flow. It's kind of odd because I don't know these guys. I don't know any of them, actually. I don't know any of them, but really quickly we developed a relationship and I made them family really fast. And what I love about when you make people family is when you have to tell them no, they don't get offense. Yeah. You know what I mean? And when they had to tell me no, I didn't get offended. I was like, okay. You know, and I think that's important when you're doing business. That you kind of bridge that gap really fast and then you move forward. There should be a wellness or recovery line with me as a point.
Gerald's trying to get in, huh?
Yeah.
You want in, Gerald?
They ain't seen nothing yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just a conversation. When you guys see the frenzy that this is gonna cause in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's just gonna, I don't think that anybody is ready for what's about to happen.
Yeah, I know I'm ready. I live for this type of shit.
I'm ready too. Look, I'm in deeper than I expected, but I love every minute of it, and I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and
I'm ready.
We couldn't have done it without you. I mean, you're just as important part of this team as I am, and the guys. You know, you really brought everything together for us.
But, you know, I was reading this right here. Someone, she was saying she got some info today in reference to the MoonRocks. She's going to inbox me. Yeah, I really believed in you guys. And I think just in business, so we're going to shift gears here a little bit. Do you guys have any more questions for Gail regarding MoonRocks and coming to Vegas? I'm going to shift gears here a little bit, and I'm actually talk business because I think it's important. Anytime you're talking about cannabis, that you talk about the business part of cannabis and then the weed part of cannabis, because I don't think people understand that there's business being done. Like, I think they think we just getting high somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, everybody just getting high.
No, so it's a lot of business being done. Trust me, I'm barely getting any sleep.
None, all of us. Will you inbox everyone on the feed? Lamar, are you asking Regina that, or what day is the launch?
The launch is not a particular day, but we're going to be launching the week of Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving week will be our launch.
So Lamar, if you in town, that's the time to get in.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to miss that. So if you guys are here, he said yes, he's gonna be in town.
Yeah. You're gonna
So
want to make sure you there because it's gonna go fast. Trust me.
it's going down. What does the launch look like to you before we switch gears?
To me, the launch looks, when I picture it in my head, I picture something just very over the top, very, very classy, very over the top, you know, very put together, very organized. You know, I want the product to be good. I want the packaging to be good. I want everything to look very classy and be presented to the customers very, you know, very business and very professional. And I think we're definitely gonna hit that with Vegas. The launch is gonna be amazing.
I think so too. And I want to remind everybody that everything in Las Vegas, Nevada is thoroughly tested. Nothing goes onto the market unless it's been tested for the cannabinoids, for the terpenes, and also for pesticide. And I can tell you that we've already viewed the testing for the first batch, and it tested extremely high, great terps, and then the product itself it's so refined and so classy, and that's the word I want to use. The product is so classy that even I was surprised. I was like, I'm so proud of this team for just really putting their all in and launching a real good A1 product. So kudos to you. Kudos and your team for being so thorough on that. That was important.
Yeah, that was important for us as well.
So let's talk business.
Mm-hmm.
What was one of your so now you're expanding the business and you're growing and rapidly. What's one of your obstacles in getting into that space?
As far as just in general with the marijuana, or just in general business period?
Just in general.
For me, as a woman, one of the obstacles for me has always been with people taking me serious. I think when you're doing business, a lot of the fields that I've been in are male dominated. Mm-hmm. So when you come in as a woman, and I'm very no nonsense when it comes to business, I don't really play too many games. I'm friendly, but I like to get the business done. And, you know, a lot of men think that they can kind of push you over and intimidate you. And, you know, that doesn't work for me. So as a woman, I've noticed throughout the years that it's just been, you know, just men taking me serious, mm-hmm. You know.
And do you think it's because of your beauty, or do you think it's because you're a really good looking lady? But do you think it's just because of just sexism in general?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think my beauty is a gift and a curse. I think it opens a lot of doors for me, but it also, I think when I speak as well, men don't look at me as business. They look at me as, how can I get her out on a date?
Right.
And I think a lot of times that's what gets me in the door places. You know, mm-hmm. I use the business to, you know, kind of act like they want to talk my language, but ultimately, you know, they have other motives that they're trying, you know, to get across or whatever. But I think it's been a little bit of both.
You know, I'm experiencing a little bit of sexism now, and I've never, I can't even believe it, I'm saying this, but I've never thought, because I'm a pretty assertive woman. I'm not aggressive in any means, but I'm assertive. Like, once you open up the door, you see me in action. That's about a wrap.
Yeah, sure.
I don't take over, but don't offer me the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But lately, I think I do business like a woman. I don't do business like a man. I've always completely been against that.
Mm-hmm.
And lately, I feel like I'm being intimidated to do business like a man, if that makes any sense. Like, they want me to show up and be aggressive and take over, and that's just not who I am, you know. And I feel like that's a level of sexism. You know what I mean? Like, they want me to play on their level, and ultimately I'm not that level player. Like, I like being support. I like being in the backup. That's my favorite space to be. And I kind of feel like people, they either want to be one or the other, right? They want you calm or they're over. That's how I feel.
Yeah. No, you're right on point with that. You are definitely right on point. And I don't really know how we get around that or get away from that. But at the end of the day, it kind of is what it is. And as women, we kind of just have to keep pushing and doing what we're doing. And, you may walk into a meeting with people thinking one way, but by the time you walk out of there, they have a whole new respect for you.
Yeah,
and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I don't care about what people think. I care about getting the deal done.
Ooh, my battery is running low.
Yeah, mine is too. I'm like 9%.
It's 9:17, so let's just go ahead and close. I had to move over real quick, and we're about to get into a good conversation. We'll just pick this up. We'll just pick this up another time. Thank God, I was like, what the hell just happened? So, you guys have been live with Gail Gotti, the head of the Kurrupt MoonRock team. Let's do this right here. Here is one more. You are leaders in your industry, and leaders run business.
I know that's right, Lamar.
I guess we've been told for the end of this night, right? So,
we can end the night on that. That's a good note to end the night on.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Gail, I really appreciate your friendship, number one, and I appreciate you doing the show. We'll just have to do it again. I guess we'll just book you after the launch.
Yeah, we'll come back on right before we get ready to launch, and then we'll have some girl talk and talk about relationships and love and dating and, all that good. We'll have some pillow talk.
Exactly. You guys have been live. This is Yo, That's Dope. I hope you enjoyed the show. This will be available on podcast on Saturday. So it'll be available on YouTube tomorrow and available on podcast. So I got all that wrapped up. So if you're trying to figure out what I'm doing, I got all of that. So you can podcast Yo, That's Dope on iTunes or Aisha Goins, and you can go to Aisha Goins on YouTube as well. We appreciate you watching. Thank you, Gail.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for having me.
It's been my pleasure. It's always my pleasure. And I'll see you next week.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.